Hi, I'm Yas. The community also knows me as MX. I'm the CMO at Galaxy Fight Club, and this is 26 Questions with Yas.
Alrighty, in addition to all the good stuff that we provide you with each video, we're having a Valentine's Day special where you can win the Lover's Gift Basket from MEXC Global. Just make sure that you subscribe to our channel, smash the like button, and now you see a QR code on your screen is going to be somewhere here where you can register on MEXC.com, make sure your account is KYC'd, and we will select 10 random winners and drop some nice USDT or mainstream tokens to your account. That's pretty much it. Enjoy the video. Hi, Yas. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
We're also excited to have you, so thanks for coming over. Looking at your website, so awesome. I like the characters on the main page. So did you guys come up with this on your own, or you took the concept from somewhere? Because they look really cool to me.
So the art style is something we came up with. But the core principle of the game and the ecosystem is definitely inspired from Super Smash Bros, where you have those characters from all different IPs coming together to play in one game. So you can obviously use something like Super Mario and fight against Sonic or whatever. So that's kind of the thought process that we had just coming into the NFT space and trying to implement that for the different collections.
Awesome. Very nice. And I also watched this trailer, by the way. Is it like a preview of the game that's going to be released later this year?
I think that was still the old design, but the core mechanics are essentially still the same.
It kind of has basically that something similar to Brawl Stars, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you in any way affiliated with Super Smash Bros? Is this your project, or you're just gonna have a similar concept to that?
We're not affiliated to Super Smash Bros.
Just basically you're saying that it's somewhat entertaining and fun as that game, right?
Exactly. It's just the same principle of the different IPs coming together. So the same way in the Nintendo universe, you have Super Mario, Link from Zelda, you have Sonic, all of these different IPs playing within Super Smash Bros. We're trying to implement that for the NFT space, where you can have a Bored Ape come in and fight against a Cyber Kong or one of our characters within the same game.
Right, and so your characters are these, but people can have their own by purchasing NFTs and kind of integrating them into the game, correct?
Exactly, and not all of these are ours. So you can see a derivative of a Bored Ape right next to our main hero. You can also see balls on the block on the right side of the screen, holding the broom. You can see some cool cat derivatives. So these aren't all our characters. They're also from different collections, but most of these are from our collection, yes.
Very nice. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see the launch, and check it out. I'm also excited to see what you guys have in store for us. Great. So now we have also questions from the community that they're eager to ask you.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, cool. So question number one, could you tell me more about Galaxy Fight Club? What kind of game is it?
Definitely. So Galaxy Fight Club is not just an avatar project, but it's actually a real-time PvP game. And just like we just talked about, it brings together, or it's meant to bring together, several communities of various NFT collections onto one single platform. That's basically our core mission, just creating that cross-IP game for the NFT universe, where the IPs can actually interact with each other in a meaningful way.
Right. Okay. Every project has an interesting story before it is created. So what motivates you to build and develop this particular project?
I think it has a lot to do with us obviously enjoying the concept of Super Smash Bros. When we were younger. And we definitely noticed the lack of utility across various training projects within the NFT space back when we launched the project. And that's why we decided to build a project that not only benefits ourselves, but actually benefits every community, if that makes sense.
Yep. Totally. What kind of gameplay and gaming experience will Galaxy Fight Club bring to users?
So our core game is free to play, and we prefer using play and earn as opposed to play to earn, because we're actually building an enjoyable game that's fun to play. So it's not supposed to be a grind as opposed to many other games in the play to earn space per se. And it's a mobile first PvP game, so it's going to be mainly played on mobile. Yeah, we want everyone to be allowed to play and take advantage of our great ecosystem, which is why we decided to not put a barrier to entry to it. So even for people who don't own any NFTs, they'll still be able to just hop in and play the game.
Yeah, that's very well put. That play to earn does sound like a grind. It's work. It's 9 to 5, play to earn. Yes, it's a cool phrasing. Love it. Alrighty. Could you please explain in layman's understanding what you mean by cross-IP PvP as stated in your project slogan?
Yeah, absolutely. So the cross-IP aspect of our game basically means that any player can log in with an NFT that they have previously acquired, even if it belongs to a different collection than ours. So this allows for an owner of a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, for example, to log in and play as a Bored Ape and potentially face opponents from a different collection like the Deadheads, Cool Cats, Animators, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Usually you can give hero NFTs in-game power, recovery time, armor, weapons, etc., especially in combat. For Galaxy Fight Club, can it be given? And is it possible to buy power upgrades or energy?
Absolutely. So we have different collections aside from our main fighters, and these include weapons and consumables, some accessories, mainly just for cosmetic purposes, but definitely possible. Something that we're super excited about is actually the partnership with BYO Pills. People who are familiar with the NFT space have probably heard that name come up at some point. Yeah, they actually helped us implement some type of consumable for our game.
Alrighty, so how many characters and hero elements are there in Galaxy Fight Club? And can you tell us about the main features and give us some details of each of them? Well, I guess there's probably too many of them, so you would characterize each, but maybe you can just give like a general overview.
Yeah, definitely. So our main collection, the Genesis Fighters, has roughly 10,000 unique fighters or heroes, depending on how you want to put it. And they all come in different rarities, races, styles, and even hold different weapons. The weapon that you actually see displayed on the NFT is also going to be applied in-game. So people who hold, for example, a banana, which is actually a weapon that we have in our collection, are throwing bananas inside the arena. So that's pretty fun.
I don't know if you can disclose this at this point, but when you throw a banana, does your opponent slip or something, or it blows up or anything like that?
For now, it's only dealing damage. But it would be funny, right? To have like an add-on where like a special attack where the opponent would slip.
It could be like, yellow banana, they could slip, and if it's red, it blows up.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, question number 7. Do the NFTs in the game affect the fighting power of the characters in the game? Is its value judged by the rarity or of beauty or power?
Yeah, so the power of each fighter is based on several factors. One of them being obviously the weapon that they hold. Like a broomstick is not going to be like as strong as something, like a sword, which, kind of makes obvious sense. But I think the main determining factor of the power of the fighters, or the weapons even, definitely is based on the rarity of it.
Okay. Question number 8. All the Genesis NFTs have attached GCOIN with them. Can you please explain which NFTs are attached and how many GCOIN are with them? And after game release, how can we claim them? Will they be airdropped in our wallet or need to convert our NFTs for GCOIN?
Yeah, so each of our Genesis fighters, which is our main collection, generates GCOIN on a daily basis. The GCOIN has been accumulating since September last year, and the initial portion was airdropped to all the holders after the IDO, obviously, which we had earlier in January. And the fighters all generate between 5 and 15 GCOIN on a daily basis. And that's just depending on the different tier of the individual fighters. So if you have someone who is like super rare in the tier aspect, then they're going to generate more GCOIN than just a common fighter, if that makes sense. The GCOIN generated on a daily basis can then be claimed through our website.
Got it. Nice. Okay. Question number 9. Online games are very difficult to win. Well, that depends, but what is the differential of the GCOIN platform, and what is the real chance of winning if I'm not a professional player?
For Galaxy Fight Club, we wanted to make sure that our ecosystem is super user-friendly, and we obviously took this into consideration while designing the gameplay mechanics and everything else. So it's definitely a skill-based game. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't, because it's like action-based combat. I'd say even though it's skill-based, it's still designed to be fun and enjoyable even for casual players.
Right, totally. Nowadays, ETH fees are too high. So why did you build your token in ERC20? And how much circulation supply and total supply does GCOIN have?
So our main NFT collection, the Genesis Fighters, is based on ERC20, but our token GCOIN is actually built on a layer 2, and we decided to go with Polygon. So we aren't really affected by the high gas fees for like any of the more frequent transactions, like using the token.
Right. Yeah, smart move.
Yeah, you also asked for the supply. So the current amount of GCOIN in circulation is, I think, roughly about like 9 million, give or take. By the end of the accumulating phase for GCOIN from our Genesis fighters, the total supply is going to be around 150 million. So out of these 150 million GCOIN, 60 million is actually going to be generated by the Genesis fighters over like the next, give or take, 2.5 years. So that basically is like 40% of the whole coin in circulation that's going to be distributed to the community over the next coming years.
Okay. Is Galaxy Fight specifically for gamers? What about non-gamer users? Can they still generate income even without playing your game? Is it true that can't play this game without a token? Some of the questions you already covered. You can just pick the ones that you feel like answering.
Yeah. And I definitely want to emphasize this as well, because a lot of people seem to misunderstand that our game is actually playable even without an NFT. So I appreciate that question coming up again. So if you're a free-to-play player, you come in, you have no NFTs at all, you can still play the game and still benefit from the earning potential that we have, like play and earn ecosystem. So if you're not really interested in playing the game yourself, you can always use our upcoming renting feature, get like scholars to play with your NFTs, and go down that road. So it's definitely still worth it, even from an investment perspective.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks for making that distinction. Yeah, because it is quite important to know that you can still play without owning an NFT. That's really cool. There are many gameplay modes on the platform like PvE and MMO. In future, do you have plans to add more modes and competitions on the platform?
Yeah, I love this question. So we're definitely thinking about expanding and creating an even more immersive experience through the use of like an open world. I'm personally a huge fan of MMOs. It's definitely something we want to explore. But yeah, the details are still to be announced.
Got it. Have you considered using Immutable X as the L2 solution for the project?
I mean, we took a lot of L2 solutions into consideration, but we just came to the conclusion that using Polygon works best for us. It just fits the best into our ecosystem.
How do you think listing on exchanges like MEXC Global would positively affect the GCOIN tokenomics?
Yeah, I think expanding the list of exchanges that GCOIN is listed on helps both new and existing players, or just be able to use our ecosystem to its fullest capacity. Yeah, really appreciate that happening.
We are really glad to have you guys, and we'll help in any way possible for you to make this ride smoother. So question number 15, does Galaxy Fight Club have a multi-chain structure with multiple blockchain networks as Galaxy Fight develops?
So yeah, as I said, like we're already using like a multi-chain structure with our main NFT collection being based on just the normal, like the core Ethereum network, while other collections like the weapons, consumables, and even GCOIN exist on the layer 2 Polygon.
Okay. I saw that Galaxy Fight is available for 2 types of devices, which are Android and PC. What are the minimum technical requirements to run the game, and where can we download the game? What is the advisable device to play to experience the best gaming experience by graphics? It's a loaded question, so feel free to choose what you feel.
The game is mobile first. Maybe elaborate on that. It's not only available on Android, but also on iOS. I think pretty much like any up-to-date smartphone should be able to run the game smoothly. There's not like any crazy requirements from like tech perspective that need to be met. We're currently still in closed beta, so we don't have any public download links yet, but we're looking to launch our open beta pretty soon, depending on when this is uploaded, like the next month or 2.
Okay, makes sense. Great. Then question number 17, where do you see the game itself in 5 years? And how do you think the player base itself in a P2E platform will adjust as overall crypto markets shift from bullish to bear?
So in 5 years, that's still like a long time ahead. Like we know how fast the time like goes in the NFT space, but in the fictional metaverse of Ready Player One, there are different planets known for like different experiences, which players can like hop between with their avatars. And I think that something that we're exploring, definitely like built towards, is building that PvP experience for players within like the metaverse, if you want to call it. Like nobody knows exactly what the metaverse is. Everyone has like his own definition, but like a few years down the road, I see Galaxy Fight Club as like the go-to platform or planet for anyone looking for those PvP experiences.
Awesome. Question number 18, can you tell me about Galaxy Fight project listing plans, especially the ones involving major exchanges, SEX and DEX, and what type partnerships are you looking for and what values would they bring?
Absolutely. We just announced our VCs yesterday. So I'm super excited about this question because our VCs include KuCoin as well as Huobi. So it's safe to say that our community can look forward to more listings once the time is right. There's definitely strategic partnerships with all of the platforms that we get listed on. Yeah, some stuff to look forward to.
Question number 19. The beta is very fun and the gameplay is awesome. So can you give us some updates when the game is exactly released?
Yeah, we're planning on launching the open beta within the next 2 months. So it's still going to be in Q1 2022, probably by like mid or late March. And our open beta will be accessible to the public. So that's basically being regarded as like a public launch, not the full game release. So whoever is interested in playing it will be able to download the game at that point in time.
Got it. And the last question for today, where can we learn about Galaxy Fight NFT apart from Twitter? Is Galaxy Fight present on other social platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're present on Twitter like everyone else, but our main hub is actually Discord. So if you're looking to become part of the community or just, find out more about Galaxy Fight Club, feel free to join our Discord. And we also have chats in like various languages, both on Discord and Telegram. So you can also hop onto Telegram and check out our group there. I think we also have a pretty detailed white paper on our website.
Right. Yeah, guys, make sure you go ahead and check that out if you want to stay up to date with the latest announcement and releases. So that wraps it up for the 20 questions from the community to you, Yas. And yeah, guys, if you saw one of your questions that I was asking Yas during this interview, that means you're the lucky winner and you can claim your rewards by following the instructions down in the description box. So now, Yas, it's your turn to ask your 6 questions back to the community so they can earn additional rewards whenever you're ready.
Awesome. So the first question is going to be, what's the name of our planet? The second question, what are the most powerful warriors on Bruna 8? Third question, what's the name of our native token? Fourth question, how can second generation fighters be acquired? Fifth question, what's our main game mode? And the sixth and final question, how important are weapons in our game?
Yep, thank you for asking those 6 questions. Guys, if you like earning additional rewards, make sure you comment down below and we will select the lucky winners. That wraps it up for today. Yas, thank you so much for coming over to the interview and providing great insight, all this beautiful information about the project. I wish you nothing but success in this, and I hope that we will reconnect sometime in the future. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share this video, and we'll see you next time.